Welcome to Small Town America.
No air conditioning.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
I'll buy it from you, Rob. Hopefully faster than you.
Freedom ain't free.
Well, I was kind of hoping we could fire you.
It's good enough for me.
Amen. Okay, after weeks and weeks, a lot of busted thumbnails and skint knees, scars, a little bit of blood,
About lost a finger yesterday.
we finally got the Mercantile cleaned out. We sort of kind of finally got a contractor now. He ain't real happy about everything,
This sucks.
but Shelton Construction, Heath Shelton, has decided that he is going to rebuild the Dunlap Mercantile, or restore, I guess is a better word.
This is a whole lot worse than I thought. What's so red down there? Pretty sure they've conned me into doing this. We cracked open a support post and we looked inside and there's another post on top of it. Wow. So I'm guessing at one time there was a flood here or something's happened, and instead of replacing the whole post, they just replaced a small section of it, which is a big no-no because it could buckle at that pivot point. So we're about to fix that too. An engineer stopped by and he said it's a wonder this place hasn't fallen down yet. Well, we almost killed somebody and almost broke all the windows out the front of the Mercantile too. It's a miracle we're still alive.
Heath knew this job was going to be hard, but I think it's kind of hitting that it's hard.
This building, it's a piece of junk.
Okay, so we get the building cleaned out, right? Right down to the dirt. Got everything out of it. Then suddenly I look, and there's literally a stream coming from under the wall.
Anybody bring a fishing rod?
This is water pouring in to the Mercantile.
Why is there water coming from under the walls at the Mercantile? I don't understand.
I'm a builder, I ain't no plumber. Cody needs to call one of his subcontractors.
Anybody got a bar of soap?
You ever see the movie Money Pit with Tom Hanks? Well, that's what we're involved in. The Mercantile Pit.
I'm glad Cody hired him. This Heath guy, he ain't happy. All I wanted to do was ride the elevator. Man, he's angry. He can't take it. He'll probably quit by the end of the day.
But there is some good news. I'm seriously thinking about quitting this job. All right, now we're out here on the roof, and we uncovered these windows that were originally here over 100 years ago. Some of them are in better shape than others. That door right there is just a shield that protected. They would have shut them during bad weather or whatever to protect it from high winds or whatever might come its way. And it really kind of helped salvage, the ones that were left really helped salvage the window. It's in good shape, but ones like this kind of were left exposed to the elements. You can see over 100 years has really done a lot, but pretty good shape considering how long. But we're really trying to salvage these, but this one we may not be able to just because the damage is so severe. But we're going to try our best. But you can kind of see there where it's just taken a beating from years and years of rain and sun, hot and cold. Something that we can appreciate about these old buildings is the architecture, and if you look closely you can see even small details like these arches above the window with the brick and the molding. It'd been easy just to square it off, especially back here, not very visible, but back then they really took a pride in their work and they really wanted it to stand out and look good. And a lot of this stuff was hand cut, all the nails were hand driven, and it really, you can really appreciate that. These days it's really hard to find that kind of quality. work. So it's one reason we're really trying to salvage this, to showcase the workers back then, their hard work and ingenuity and just kind of making these things really stand out.
All right, so as we cleaned the Mercantile out, several people would stop by. They would tell me stories about being in the Mercantile. One guy in particular, his name is Gene Hickson. Gene Hickson is our oldest veteran in town. I think he's 95. And he began to tell me stories about reading letters from Jesse James.
Walker Payne said, Gene, come here. I want to show you something. And he handed me a handwritten one-page letter that was signed Jesse James. He said this letter was given to some of my family. Now, where it was the Paynes or the Burrs, I don't know. One of them was kin to Jesse James, and this letter Jesse James had written to this family.
All this talk about Jesse James, Frank James, Cole Younger got me really, really excited about the Old West. So I broke out my trusty double-barrel BB gun. I asked my dad for this double-barrel BB gun when I was 6 years old in Gene Hickson's store called the Western Auto. My dad said I couldn't have it because I'd shoot my eye out. So Santa Claus brought it to me. Everybody that works around here loves Westerns just like I do. I wonder what their favorite Western is. Or, what's your favorite Western?
That's great. They're gonna
pick my movie.
I love Westerns. I was actually named after Heath on the Big Valley, and then my brother Shane was named after the Western Shane. So we grew up watching tons of Westerns.
Greatest Western of all time, Outlaw Josie Wales.
Outlaw Josie Wales was great. You know, Diane ain't much of a living boy and all that kind of stuff.
El Dorado with John Wayne.
Well, yeah, that was okay.
Pale Rider with Clint Eastwood.
I like Sam Elliott.
Cody asked me if I had seen any Westerns. I told him I had seen Cowboys versus Aliens. That's about it.
My favorite Western is Pale Rider. Clint Eastwood, baby.
Well, there was one, you know, Johnny and Waylon did
Well, I grew up on the old Gene Autry and Roy Rogers and of course, John Wayne.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Greatest Western of all time.
I already did it. Oh.
Greatest Western of all time, Rio Lobo with John Wayne.
McCarver, I thought we were friends.
My favorite Western of all time is Stagecoach with John Snyder.
Well, thank you, Tillman. At least somebody in this room has some taste.
Oh, man, I forgot about that. John's gonna kill me. But that is a great movie.
Come on, Stagecoach? For crying out loud, one of the best, no, the best Western ever made. And I'm not talking about the motel, McCarver.
So, a lot of this is true. I know. Some of it's legend. And I'm not real sure that I want to tell this story because we may have 100,000 people pour into our valley and our mountains in the next few weeks. So maybe I shouldn't tell this story. So there's a legend of lost gold in Cagle Mountain. The legend is that Frank and Jesse James robbed a bank somewhere near here, or a train. So there you go. You know, which one did they rob? I don't know for sure. They had gold. They had a hideout on Cagle Mountain. The sheriffs or somebody found out where they were, and they had a way to get out the back door of the old house they were in, or shack, probably, and run away down the mountain. Somewhere down the mountain, Jesse stopped and hid the gold in the side of the mountain. and it's still there. I have been a huge fan of history of the old outlaws. That's kind of my thing, you know. Been to Billy the Kid's grave, a house in Russellville, Kentucky, in a bank that's been kept together that Jesse James wrote. I believe these things because I've studied it, I see it. But right here in my hometown, you want to believe what your friends tell you.
My name is Billy Frank Seals.
Who's that behind you?
That's my uncle. That's Jesse James. My great-grandpa is Frank James. I've seen a lot of pictures throughout the years of the elderly people on the mountain that's got, and there's a lot of people told me I resemble him a lot. Like my daddy resembled him a lot. You know, the rumors going around, it was still there, that he had to flee, and I don't know if he ever made it back in this part or what, but the rumor is the treasure is there, you know, somewhere along the side of that mountain.
So you believe the story about the gold?
Yes, sir, I do, because there's a lot of stories that's been going on across the mountain for years and years. It's about the same thing. A lot of elderly people has seen and heard the same story, you know, about them. And a lot of the real old people has run into them out there and kind of kept it hid because, you know, they was good to the people around on the mountain, you know, and really helped them a lot, and nobody would tell on them. You know, everybody was like family to them around here. I don't know if the Cumberland Plateau was a place for all the outlaws to hide, to stay away from the law or what, but the stories I've heard for a lot of years, they all run the plateau. You know, and I believe that was because it was rugged back then that they got to stay away from the law more out there. Plateau was their hideout. They know that they were safe along the plateau. A lot of places to hide.
All right, Norman, I'll see you in a few minutes. Bye. This is going to be great.
Me and my cousin Norman, we parked on the side of the highway one day. We walked up in there.
You know Norman?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Norman Christian.
Yes.
Right?
Know him well.
He's going to be here in a little while.
Okay.
And Norman is going to take me and show me where the gold is.
Huh.
He says he knows.
How long a lunch break I get?
Norman!
Oh, Cody.
What are you doing, son? I figured you'd be taking that rock out of the side of the mountain today.
It was an easy day. All we had to do was change muffler on track all day.
All right, so look, I got an idea. I've been hearing that you know where Jesse James gold is buried up on the mountain where we live.
I think I do. I've been looking for it for years, and I think I know where it's at, but it's rough. Been up in there several times and still not found the exact place I'm looking for, but it's there somewhere, and hopefully the gold's there.
All right, so John's coming to town.
Is
He's going to be here a few days with me, and I want you to take me and him looking for it.
We can do that, and just it'd be a good adventure.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that sounds like fun.
All right, then. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Thank you, brother. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So, do you really think it exists?
Yes, I do. I've heard too many stories, too many different people about it, and all the stories more or less correlate together, and it all makes sense to me. The story I was told that they were staying at a shack down towards the Oak Brook Whitlow place behind the store up there. They were staying at a shack down there up on top of the hill. And they were staying there playing cards, this and that, and somebody come through and told them the feds were coming to get them. And Frank and Cole Younger took their horses and headed west out across the plateau. And Jesse took the mule while they were getting things ready to go. He took the mule and left and was back in a half an hour, and the mule didn't have nothing on it.
From where the shack was in the Gulf, don't take long to get across that ridge down, and you're on the road going up the mountain. Since they built a new road up the mountain, we don't know if they blasted off parts where they had it hid, the treasure hid, but they still a few little places up above the new road now that it could be hid.
Do we have a map?
Well, but did he have a map? Only in your
I
mind?
looked at it this morning on Google Earth, but it's a photo from '99, and you can't really tell that much. I was looking more of the terrain on which would be the best way to get to it.
Don't tell people you can look at it on Google Earth. They'll find it before we do.
No, but it's amazing what you find on Google
If
Earth.
it was that easy, somebody would have found it before.
People don't know about it.
Never seen a map. It's just one of them quick deals. The law was rushing in. He had to rush out and go ditch it.
Man, he's angry. This sucks.
So, if you left someplace on your horse, pulling a mule, and you were back in 30 minutes, then that means it has to be 15 minutes away if all you did was touch a rock. But the mule had something on it when he left and didn't have anything on it when he came back. So that limits it to
10 minutes?
10 minutes away,
10 minutes away.
10 minutes to
10
bury
minutes
stuff, and 10 minutes to get back.
And 10 minutes to get back. And this...
By horseback pulling, I never heard the mule part, so by pulling a mule.
Well, a mule will move as fast as a horse will. Back up, move better.
Not
than these mountains.
carrying 300 pounds of,
Well,
250 pounds of gold, though?
You ain't seen a lot of them old westerns, have you? They had some pretty good sized guys on the back end.
Yeah, but in the old westerns, they weren't really carrying gold.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Where are we going to go up?
Well, about 100 yards up here, that next little branch, we'll go up. That you can't climb this bluff. It's too.
No.
But up there, you can go up a dirt. It's steep, but you can get up it.
It's rugged up in there. It's just like it. You got to pull yourself up with trees.
Why am I coming? I thought you were going to come look for this whole thing, and I was going to.
Yeah, but you're my buddy, man. I need you to go.
Well, yeah, I'm your buddy, but I'm not climbing up there. Do I look like a billy goat to you? You look like a billy goat to me.
They call me a mountain goat. He ain't far from the truth.
This is Cody McCarver Mountain, along with the boulevard and the stage. Yeah, right.
2 more miles.
Well, let's go get some coffee.
Okay.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
If we find this gold, I don't know if I'll give John any of it or not. He didn't want to go up here no way.
All right, so
We're gonna go across the road right
wait a minute. What are we doing here?
That's us and you. We're gonna go across the road right here to the traffic stops. Climb that bluff right there.
In search of treasure.
Hopefully.
These mountain people are crazy.
So Norman, we were talking last night before we came out here to this adventure.
Yeah.
That he brought some firecrackers.
Why?
And I'm gonna let Norman tell you why he brought firecrackers.
Norman, why did you bring firecrackers?
The reason I bought firecrackers because from the early 70s, I have seen mountain lions cross the road on this mountain, and they're still here.
Let me see if I get this straight. If you actually find the gold, you're probably going to have to be fighting off some animals in order to get to it.
And where we're going could possibly be a den place or a resting place, and just to be sure before I go in, if it ain't full of leaves that'll catch on fire, I'm going to throw a firecracker or two in there, so if anything's in there, it'll come out.
Where will it go then?
Hopefully the other direction. If it don't, how fast can you run?
Hopefully faster than you.
Okay, you're okay then. You're okay then.
I always carry firecrackers.
It's either that or go up right here, one of the two. Yeah.
Right.
The quickest, right? Probably.
Well, the quickest part is falling down.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's what I say. Those leaves are on the ground and they're loose and dry and slick, so be sure of your footing.
Think there's gonna be any snakes?
No,
I don't like snakes.
it's all right. I'll be up front and I'll either find them or get bit or something to,
Would you what?
either find them or get bit. You ever been bit by a snake? Put on
No.
I put on a pair of snake chaps once and stepped on a black snake's tail and got to messing with him, and he hit me 5 or 6 times in the leg. You ain't never had a thrill like that in your life.
Seriously? You ain't never had a thrill like that. Oh, yes, I have. And I don't want to have a thrill like this one. Okay, I'm told we're going up there
It came out down there at the
to look for the gold that Jesse James hid one fateful night. These people are crazy. We'll be right back. Well, maybe if we don't die going up the side of the... Really?
You know, folks, Gunsmoke is my favorite Western of all time. And I really hate it when they do stuff like this. But here we go.
But oh, hey, John Schneider and Jesse James here. We're talking about community. You know the great thing about a community? We all have one. Have you checked out yours lately?
Glad I used deodorant. Glad I took a shower before I come down here. I was nasty.
Working on a building. It's a Holy Ghost building. It's a Holy Ghost building for my Lord, for my Lord. I'm working on a building for my Lord. Thinks he's almost built.
They knew exactly what they done in this building.